38 years ago, superstition and the sword ruled. It was a time of darkness. It was a world of fear. It was the age of gargoyles. The year was 1986. NASA archivist Frank Shaw was walking to his car after a day of work at the Johnson Space Center in Houston when he saw something that was, rather appropriately, out of this world. Perched on a nearby building, Shaw caught sight of a humanoid figure that was jet black and seemed to be wearing a cape, with two gigantic bat-like wings coming out of its back. Shaw also claimed that the creature seemed to not only be staring back at him, but it seemed to be both cognizant of and enjoying the fear that it was causing him. He then watched the mysterious entity take flight, making a loud cracking noise as it moved through the air, disappearing into the night. Shaw took the opportunity to get into his car and drive straight home. When he got back to his house, Shaw told his family, "I've seen a wife and daughter mentioned. I don't know if Frank had any other kids," and they believed his story, but at the same time, warned him against telling his coworkers, out of the pretty understandable fear of him being seen as crazy. Shaw initially agreed with their advice, but eventually did end up discussing the sighting with his supervisor at the Space Center. Surprisingly, Frank was told that he was not the first to report having seen the mysterious creature at the site. Now, what's interesting about the NASA Gargoyle story is that it wasn't actually made public by Frank, but rather by his daughter Desiree Shaw in 2004. Now, I do have to say, a cryptid story that's secondhand isn't going to be as credible as one from a primary source. At the same time, there are plenty of stories of flying humanoids in the world of cryptozoology. The Mothman of West Virginia, the Owlman of Cornwall, and the Jersey Devil of my own home state, just to give a few examples. So it's not exactly unheard of for someone to see a creature that resembles the NASA Gargoyle. There have been other sightings of cryptid gargoyles, most notably in Pennsylvania in the 1990s, so again, there is something of a precedent here for entities like what Frank Shaw is said to have seen that night. So, what do you think? Do you believe the story of the NASA Gargoyle? Let me know in the comments section below.